Sasha Banks. Oh, wait a minute. Her name, Mercedes Monet. She is now all elite. We're going to talk about that first coming up on the pod right after this. We are back with another episode of the We Book It podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We're especially ecstatic to have three of my awesome co-hosts with us here today. We have Fritos. What's up, Fritos?
Top of the morning. Happy St. Patty's Day to everyone.
Yeah, there we go. We have the coach.
Fellas, nice to see you again. Glad I can be here at the beginning this time and not show up at the end.
And of course, we have Tank. What's up, brother?
What's going on, boys?
And I am your host, Virgil. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the We Book It podcast. You are the most important part of the podcast. Remember to follow us on our YouTube channel, In My Opinion, for a part of the In My Opinion network featuring Mike Jones. So make sure you go like, follow, subscribe to the channel. That way you never miss any of our wrestling content. We actually have extra content that we're going to start eventually putting out. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. Again, the conversation around wrestling never ends. We got history from the past. And of course, we're keeping up with everything going on today, right now in the wrestling business. So fellas, we got to talk about it. First and foremost, Mercedes Monet is all elite. She debuted this week. Of course, we led to it last week, talked about the potential of it happening, and of course, it happened. Her big debut in AEW. This is a big gift for them guys. What do you think, Tank?
I mean, I feel like all wrestling fans expected this at this point. Not to say that it wasn't awesome, as we were talking a little bit off the pod, Mike. Tony Khan had that money, and he doesn't have Jade anymore. So we have to have another big top woman athlete to be in there. And I think she's gonna be a game changer for sure.
Indeed. Fritos, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited. It's going to boost the women's division. And I think, like talking about the Tony Khan money stuff, I think now with the way the deal is, someone said that she's the highest paid female athlete on AEW and maybe in wrestling right now, which, I mean, she deserves the money. That's why she left WWE. She thought she wasn't getting paid enough like Charlotte and all of them. So I'm happy.
Again, Coach, what do you think, sir?
Well, I agree with Fritos. I think it's only going to boost the women's division in AEW, and I think it's something that is needed for that women's division because right now you only have Toni Storm carrying that division. Now you insert Mercedes Monet, and it is – I mean, I can't wait for those two to start feuding for the women's title because I think that's going to – not only is it going to be a banger of a match, but I think the promo battles they're going to have are going to be great, especially with Tony's character right now. What she's been doing for the past 6 months with that character, I think, is amazing and really has brought – I think it's a great thing for AEW, and I think WWE missed out on maybe – they might say overpay, but I think it would have been just the right amount to get Mercedes Monet back in WWE. But she could be back sooner rather than later.
This deal, actually, she won't be back for a little bit. This deal that she has is pretty lucrative and pretty long. Tony Khan stitched her up for a couple of years. So she told Variety magazine, she said that her debut felt unbelievable. She said she felt like Stone Cold Steve Austin. So here's what I thought about it. Mercedes and Bayley were never treated in WWE like Charlotte and Becky have been. And And I think Bayley is probably going to be next to go join Mercedes Monet in All Elite Wrestling. Do not be surprised if in 2 years Bayley is over in All Elite Wrestling with her best friend, because if you think about it, Bayley has accomplished so much in WWE, and yes, she has WWE ties, and yes, she has WWE roots, but she's seen two of her best friends, Trinity and Mercedes, go out and do their own thing, forge their own path, and go and do different things in the wrestling business that they all four have dreamed of doing. Charlotte is, I doubt, I would be shocked. I'd be happy for her, but I would be shocked if Charlotte ever left WWE. And I don't think Becky will ever leave WWE either. I think she'd rather retire than go anywhere else. But I do see Mercedes Monet being happy in AEW because she'll finally get treated like Charlotte Flair. I think her whole career she has wanted that type of treatment. What WWE gives Charlotte, top bill on the promos, making sure that she always is taken care of, make sure she always has a match for WrestleMania. She doesn't have to. I mean, you could pretty much pencil outside of injury, you could pencil in Charlotte Flair for every single event that WWE is going to do. I mean, as soon as she comes back, she's going to immediately be thrust right back into a main event role and status as Tank is losing his phone. Right?
Dude, I'm about to get pissed off, boys.
But follow that link that I sent to you in the
banana.
group chat and go buy that ring light.
I'm going to. Once we
You
get to
have
the
to.
house, hopefully, I'm going to.
Anyways, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
back to what I was saying though. It's just important to note that Mercedes Monet is going to thrive here. They're going to have to get some competition to work around her. She's going to have to build up the competition. And honestly, I like this for the simple fact that now she gets to prove that she should have been the one that WWE backed the whole time. Not Charlotte, not Becky.
Do you? So, I think I agree with what you're saying. I disagree about the Bayley thing. I don't think she's going to leave. And the reason why is because I think, we all have watched the CM Punk media scrum from a couple years ago when he said along the lines of the grass isn't always greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And I think Bayley, as much as she has in the past, with the gimmicks here and there, I think there hasn't been a time since Bayley's made the main roster when her name hasn't been brought up in the main spotlight. Not to say that she would go to AEW and get lost in the fold, right? I mean, Tony Khan, there's not going to be a time Tony Khan's going to be like, let's get Mercedes back at the bottom and build her way up. You're not going to do that, right? With all the money you're paying her, all the revenue you're bringing in. I think overall, and now Naomi is back in WWE. And so I do think I do see Mercedes making her way back to WWE. And I think Bayley will be there. I still think she'll be there, and I think they're gonna. I don't think they'll resume the tag team though. I mean, that's something we can discuss, but I just don't see. I see Mercedes coming back, and this might be something you guys disagree with, but I see her coming back being a top Cody-esque face in the women's division in WWE.
Yeah, no, I definitely think she'll come back. I didn't want to make it seem like she's AEW for the rest of her life. What I'm trying to say is that I see Sasha. I'm sorry, I always want to call her Sasha, but I see Mercedes basically like Bayley, like I could see a world where Tony Khan and let's say Bayley's deal is done in 2 years. I could see a world because I think Mercedes signed for 5. I could see a world where Tony Khan's like, hey, is it possible we can maybe get Bayley in and do some big business at All Out London 2029? Because we still here, we still going back. We're gonna keep that London circuit going. But I could totally see a world where, hey, we do some big business. You guys team together 1 year. The next year, you guys are feuding. You turn on her. You guys do some big business together. Trade the title a couple of times. Have some good matches. Wrestle all over the world. Make a lot of money. Boom, you with your friend. You're happy. I could totally see a world where that happens. And then obviously, I mean, and maybe they return together back to WWE, and maybe they don't. I could be totally off on the whole Bayley going to AEW thing, but she's at a lot of those events. You can't tell me Tony Khan ain't never said nothing to her. Obviously, obviously they're not gonna tell about tampering, but I like I said, I'm sure he sends extra food, extra goodies to their suite. You know what I'm saying? When he knows that they're up there. Support.
Man, I love that though. I love seeing, and it's if you look at it, I'm sure fans in attendance look up and they're like, oh my god, but he's never trying to steal the spotlight. Whenever they were in different companies, they always supported each other, and sure. I think it's so cool. I think sure. It's sort of like if we're talking like football, Bears and Packers, for instance.
Sure.
The owners and the fans may not necessarily like each other, but you got the players and the ones that make up the organization, the ones that get the money, the revenue. And all they're doing is just trying to support each other. They'll get mad at each other on field if something's wrong. But like when they get off the field, it's like, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on, guys? And always making each other better. So I like seeing it. I like seeing the sport.
Well, I guess that kind of brings up my question of, do you guys ever think that WWE and AEW will collaborate at all?
I think yes and no. I think Vince, absolutely not. If it was still under Vince, no. Triple H, though, what he's trying to do with New Japan and trying to branch out, I think Triple H sees it as Triple H and Tony Khan are a lot similar than we give them credit for. I think they're both people who love wrestling and trying to get more people to love wrestling and realize, hey, the only way we can do this is by making the product better. And so if there ever comes a time then when they're like, hey, let's meet up, I think we'll see it.
And I bet Tony would be more willing to talk with Triple H than to Vince.
I think anybody's willing to talk to Triple H more than Vince,
right?
Especially right now.
I don't know, fellas. He did refer to him as a bald-headed bitch, so he may not.
When was that?
He may. I think it was sometime last year when Tony Khan was having one of his Twitter meltdowns.
I was just about to say, was it a Twitter?
Yeah, it was
Twitter thing again.
It was a Twitter meltdown for all of our new wrestling fans out here. Tony Khan is prone to these Twitter meltdowns sometimes where he just like goes crazy or whatnot, and like I think it was because I think somebody gave Triple H Booker of the Year, and really what's crazy is like it be fans that be trolling Tony that get him to talk bad about like the other company. Like it don't even actually be the guys in the other company that be like, hey Tony, like we kicked your ass or you sucker, yada da da da. But it'd be like fan made stuff, and like he real life be responding to it and taking that stuff to heart and being like, like shaking, like convulsing, and like going on these crazy Twitter rants and stuff like that. But I do, Coach, to answer your question, I would hope that one day they could work something out, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. They're still very stiff in competition, and WWE wants to send clear messaging to AEW that no matter what you do, you can have 83,000 at Wembley, but you'll never be what we are in this business. And it sucks that it has to be that way. Because I think some talent initiative, like really, I really would appreciate Dustin being a part of Cody finishing this story and somehow showing up at WrestleMania. Like I would just love that moment. I would love for the lights to go out, old ECW style, and the lights come back on, and it's Mercedes Monet standing back to back with Bayley. You know what I'm saying? Helping her, at fight off damage control. Like moments like that would be historic and huge, and stuff like that. Like William Regal being able to go back and help the BCC over in AEW, like I said, for one night only. Like stuff like that would be huge, for the business of wrestling.
Kenny
But
versus Seth.
I'm thinking more Will Ospreay versus Seth, but
Oh, don't even.
I'll take them both.
We can't do it. Can't think like that. Oh man, that dude. Any of those matches would be. I mean, MJF. I was talking to one of my friends about this. I'm like, with everything MJF does to blur the lines between reality and the show. I think I'm like, what if they're in a perfect world, as much as he loves Triple H and he says it all the time, what if there's just that moment where a forbidden door opens up and you just get MJF's music just coming out and it's the bridge, what if he's the bridge? And I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, like an MJF showing at a Royal Rumble or something like that. I think WWE has a way better working relationship with TNA, where Nick Nemeth might even make a showing at a WWE event here soon. Who knows? I mean, could happen at the next Royal Rumble or something like that, just because they have such a good working relationship. Moose has often wanted to be a part of WWE, but I think there's a good chance he ends up signing with WWE here, especially if they don't bring back Scott D'Amore to TNA. So, but anywho, any last thoughts on Mercedes and her All Elite debut? All right, we're moving right along to the next important spot in the show. We're going to talk Jimmy Uso accepting the challenge of his brother, Jey Uso. What do you got for me, Fritos?
I'm excited for this. This is probably going to be the opening match on day one.
Sure.
All this is going to carry over to probably later on the tag team match, then going on to the Cody's match on night 2.
Sure.
They've been teasing this for a while that this match was going to happen. I'm happy that's going on right now. And I really got a feeling it's going to be almost like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair at the end, where they say, "I love you," sweet kick to the chin. Then I don't know who's going to win. I mean, we all expect Jey to win, but I have a sneaky feeling maybe Jimmy can somehow get the win and start going with his solo career.
I like that. Coach, what were your thoughts?
Well, first off, over under, how many super kicks are we going to see in that match?
50 at least. 50 at least.
I just have the feeling there's going to be a sequence where they hit like 3 super kicks consecutively at each other, and they hit one at the exact same time to knock them off. I just have a feeling that's going to happen. As for the match, very excited for it. I agree with you, Fritos. This is going to set the tone for WrestleMania in general on what the tag match is going to be night 1, and then what the title match is going to be night 2. I just feel like they could have built it up a little bit better. I feel like they rushed it just a tad. And I get it. This is a match that everyone wanted to happen, but the build-up just seemed rushed. Yes, it was because Jimmy cost Jey all these title opportunities. That's kind of
too.
And the Rumble, yes. I guess you could say that's kind of the build-up, but I feel like there should have been more, or maybe I was just expecting more out of it. Either way, I'm still excited for this match. I think, like I said, it's going to set the tone for what's going to happen. Again, agreeing with you, Fritos, if Jimmy ends up winning, then you're looking at, looks like the Bloodline's going to dominate night 1, and it's going to be tough sledding for night 2. Or if Jey wins, and it's like, there's that glimmer of hope for Cody that he can go Bloodline free and everything in the tag match. So that's where I'm interested to see how that sets the tone for. But again, felt like the buildup could have been better.
Agreed. Tank, what do you think?
I I think it's going to be one hell of a match. I think we're going to be I think we're going to be seeing Rikishi. I think that'll be cool. Cool throwback to see. I think
in the crowd or actually getting involved.
I see Rikishi getting involved. I see Solo getting involved. I see
Solo's
the brother.
involved.
I see I see them getting involved. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm getting the feeling that they're gonna do this match, and maybe not after that match. Maybe it has to go into the tag team or even night 2. I think we're gonna see a Jimmy turn. I think we're gonna see a Jimmy turn back, whether it be like seeing his brother get beat up, and then all of a sudden, something snaps where he realizes, hey, that's still my brother. You know what I mean? I'm also thinking that they're gonna.
That's a good prediction. That's a really good prediction.
But you got to think, like, where are they going to go with Jey or Jimmy after Mania, right? Like, are you going to have them go solo? I mean, they tried that before, or I shouldn't say they tried it before. I know they've been injured on and off, so the other brother had to basically keep it going. But some just feels like we're going to get, because we got to get another big time tag team back out there, and I think Usos, get them going face, and then you turn somebody like the New Day. I don't know, could very well happen.
Well, they've been teasing New Day heel turn for a while, especially with their rivalry with Imperium. It seemed like they were ready to turn heel, but they just turned into the aggressive babyface. So I could definitely see a New Day heel turn coming.
Please, guys, please, for the love of God, no more New Day versus Usos. Like they literally ran them into the ground between 2017 and 2020. It was just all the time.
I don't think about running into the ground, man. I think they put on some solid match. The one thing that ruined it though was the fact that COVID hit and the crowd there's when you put
there's no crowd.
But dude, every time they put on classic matches every single time they're out there.
Oh, that Hell in a Cell match was their best work.
Then again, Big E still got to come back, but
true.
Let's hope for the best. Hope for the best with that.
I'm hoping he comes back as a manager soon. At this point, if he can't compete, I'm fine with that. But at least have him work the mic still.
You guys, you guys love that more than me, because I'm looking at them like, I've seen it enough. It would be like a Charlotte Becky match. Like sure, the match will be good, but the buildup will be so lazy and so rhetorical that it's just like, oh man, like, bro, we don't need to see that. We do not need to see that again. We're good. We know what it is. We've seen it happen. It's all good. It's all good. What's that new tag team's name? I cannot think of their name for the life of me. They're brothers.
Oh, the Creed brothers.
Creed. Build around them. Build your Raw division around them. And honestly,
they are slowly, I think.
Yeah. And here's another thought process. I like, honestly. Okay, so to answer your question, Jey Uso needs to have the Intercontinental Championship by himself. Keep him far away from his brother. Jimmy can do what Jimmy needs to do on SmackDown. He can waver and wander as Roman is off licking his wounds after the bloodline disables, or you can even do Jimmy and Solo tagging together after, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, for a little while until somebody like Braun calls out Solo, and then you got to see those two badasses go against each other for the IC title, you know what I'm saying, or the US title, whichever, or later on down on in the year, later towards the end of this year. But keep Jey on Raw. Keep him separate and away from them. Please. Like, let this match happen. Give the Uso brothers what they've wanted. They've always wanted to fight each other at Mania. Let them open the show. They're going to be a smash hit. And then let Jey continue to rise that star on Raw. And then Jimmy, like I said, he can flounder for a little bit. There's no issue with that. As we have coming to the state, guy, Big Daddy C is here. He made it. He made it to the show. But yeah, no, keep those two. Guys, I'm trying to be professional
professional guys, come on. Get your
for the love of goodness.
Hello, fellas.
Hello, sir.
Brother. Good to see you again.
Good to see
How you
y'all.
doing, Big Daddy C?
I'm good. Glad to be back home. I was in Decatur, so yep.
All right. You have some new artillery there, sir. You care to emphasize what's happening right now? What's going on over there?
Oh no, I had this hat for a while. I just decided to add it in as a prop.
trying to outdo my hat. It's not
I know,
even
right?
the holiday. Come on.
The
Let me talk
battle
to
of the
you.
hats. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, Mike,
Yeah.
Mike, guess when I got the shirt?
When'd you get it?
Back in November.
Bruh.
Survivor Series.
Oh, I had to think for a second. That wasn't a delay, folks. Like, I actually had to think for a second, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I know what happened that day." Oh, you
Yeah,
both.
this and the Orton shirt.
Oh, that hurt so bad. Still, my feelings are hurt.
Shit.
Anyways, but yeah, no, keep those two far apart. And just let Jey's star continue to rise. But one thing we did see on Raw that materialized that I'm excited about, that they're actually doing gauntlet matches, and those gauntlet matches are going to be pretty much the headliners of the shows coming up, is a ladder match for the tag team championships has been announced. How you fellas feeling about this? I'll start off with you, Big Daddy C.
Hey, ladder match at WrestleMania, especially for the tag titles. You know, you think about the history of ladder matches at WrestleMania, and then just the it's a cat, man. My damn cat, man. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, you think about the history with ladder matches and at WrestleMania and tag titles, you know, in a ladder format. Think about the Hardys, the Dudleys, you know, the Edge and Christian TLC match, historic. So just to see, and then we had the last ladder match we had for the tag titles was what, WrestleMania? Was it 30? Was it 34?
I think it was
when the Hardys
36.
came back.
Is that the one when the Hardys came back? Right?
Yeah. So you think about that match as well. It was fatal 4-way ladder match. So the fact that we got 6 teams, it's like unprecedented, you know. So that'll be nice to see. See this many people in the ring for a ladder match. So I'm excited to see it and see what big spots they have with, you know, ladders and all that stuff. So can't wait to see that. So
Tank, what are you thinking about this match?
I mean, you just mentioned it about the Creed brothers, man. I think if WWE's smart, they'll put them in. I mean, when we went to that live event in last month or 2 months ago, was it February? It's February, right?
Yeah, when we went to Raw.
Yeah, you know, that match at first, we were just, I mean, I don't know how you guys were feeling, but I was like, you know, just another tag match, you know, it'll be cool spots here and there. The one constant I think we all saw, the Creed brothers, man, no matter what, you know, they're doing flips, and they were the least expecting team that I think out there that I'm like, why not them, you know? So I'm in total agreement with you, Mike. This ladder match is the spots as C put up there, you know, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a great one.
Yep, I agree 100%. Fritos.
I'm excited. 6-man. It's gonna be fun. I think it's also gonna have a chance and opportunity to finally split the titles. I've seen some stuff on, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now, that Awesome Truth could finally, win it. And of course, our Truth's going to go up and grab the Raw tag team titles and not realize, oh, he's supposed to grab both to win it. So I think it's finally a chance to split the titles back where they need to be and get them going again.
Coach?
Yeah, I agree. Again, Fritos, I agree with you. I feel like we're on the same page with a lot of things.
Oh,
tonight,
we are.
Man, great minds think alike. But what I think is going to happen is we might have one of those simultaneous grabs for both of the titles. So one team's going to climb up and grab the Raw championship. Another team's going to climb up and grab the SmackDown one. And it's going to be like simultaneous. And they're going to be like, well, how do we determine who won it and everything? And then that's when they'll do the split. As for the teams involved, I mean, I agree again with Tank on the Creed brothers, and I may be in the minority here, but I'm a big fan of DIY. I think that they should be in that match because I think if you look at their work in NXT with that kind of physicality, I think they fit in perfectly with that. The only problem is that they face the Creed brothers tomorrow night in the gauntlet. So it's like, well, you just pit the two best teams for this kind of match against each other. So it's gonna suck that one of them's not gonna make it and the other one will. So I'm curious to see what the booking decision will be for tomorrow night. Are we going to go with the more experienced guys in DIY, or are we going to go with the young and upcoming like the Creed brothers?
I like it. I wish that DIY could get on the card, but I say you go with the Creed brothers. You go with somebody younger, and you try to get them over. Because I mean, like I said, that gauntlet match that they did, that sold me. I was like, whoa, man, like that. Like, usually for me, and everybody will know this about me. I'm sorry, guys. This is just how I feel. Tag team wrestling and women's wrestling matches, unless it's for a title or it's Bianca or something like that, is usually equals a piss break for me. Every single time, religiously. I'm like, oh, piss break. Especially when I hear Natalia's music. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, piss break. I'm gone. I'm out of there. I will not sit and watch Natalya wrestle. She is a beautiful woman. She's great. I love what she does with the Make-A-Wish stuff, and she's a great ambassador. She's a great ambassador for WWE. But when they hear that, wing, I'm like, piss break. I'm out of here. Bye. Gonna go get me a hot dog. Yeah, refill my soda. I'm good, man.
She needs to retire.
Yeah. I mean,
I also think she's a great veteran presence.
I'm living off your dad and your uncle.
Keep her.
Yep. And that leads me to another point that I wanted to bring up with you guys as we transition off of the ladder match. Let's talk about boring booking for the last few weeks before Mania. I think this is a topic that each of us in our group chat mentioned. Like, you just kind of saw a slide, especially on the Raw side. It's 3 hours of television, but in those 3 hours, you probably could pick out maybe 2 or 3 segments that you're like, needed to see that. And those 2 to 3 segments will get you through literally the whole episode. Everything else is just filler. It's people getting paid, getting matches in that aren't going to be a part of Mania. You kind of almost have the Mania match card set. Triple H is not a big, let's get everybody on the show guy. I mean, like I said, that's why the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble, Andre the Giant Battle Royal will be on SmackDown or on like something else. Like he's a 5-6 match card type guy. Like, he's not going to convolute and overload you with a bunch of different short matches just to get more people on the show to get them paid. So what are you guys thinking about this boring booking over the last few weeks before Mania? Well, don't all
I'll take it. But yeah, for sure. Like, I thought this week WWE was slacking, especially on the Raw side with the build-up. Other than the Jey promo and Jimmy on Friday, it's just lacking. Some of the matches, I don't know, are lacking too. Like, I'm a huge LA Knight. I'm excited that he's finally going to get his Mania moment, even though he should have had it last year too. But that's a different story. But just some of the matches in general, I'm not really looking forward. I think everyone's eyes are on the Bloodline storyline, where
Sure.
it's no one's really focused on like, oh, LA versus AJ or the Intercontinental, even though Chad should have won that and they booked it for Sammy. I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit slacking just because they're building up more for the Bloodline storyline.
And Fritos, I think what's causing some of those matches that are kind of fill-ins, and this is nothing, I mean, it's bad for WWE, but not bad for the fans, is that the Bloodline storylines, when they cut their promos, they're going way over the allotted time slots.
Just because Roman's taking 20 years walking down the ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rock taking extra time talking.
The Rock's got to do this a couple times, and then
they gotta wake that arm up.
They actually prolonged The Rock's entrance now, made it longer by remixing and adding in the old heel Rock theme, and you got to sit there and watch the electricity and the lightning flash off the screen, and then you got to have all the lights go on him and stuff like that. The Rock in 1999, even 2000 when he was the man, his WrestleMania entrance at WrestleMania 2001 literally was quicker than any of his entrances have been since he's been back. And that to me is an issue. I'm like, dog, like that's crazy because that ramp was long at the Astrodome, and he got down there in like a minute 20 seconds, you know, and got down there to the ring. I mean, this man takes forever to get to the ring. He's adopted the head of the table Roman type thing where he takes forever to get his ass down there to the ring, dude. And I'll be sitting there like, bro, like, come on, man, it's ridiculous.
They all gotta walk to the ring like Eddie Kingston. Let's be honest. That dude, music hit, boom, he's out. He's at the ring already. But,
no, we need Ultimate Warrior kind of music where he just sprints out of there.
Here we go.
That's what we need.
Get him golf carts.
Don't catch a heart attack.
Take them back and forth.
Y'all hear that?
But I think
See,
you know,
we're gonna get us kicked off the airwaves, brother. Come on, man.
I ain't what I do.
It's that dang cat. That's what it was.
You want to get put out? Oh, okay.
Last thing we need is Pito on this bitch, dude.
Hey, Peter. Hey, I love her, Peter. I love her. Hey, it's a good household over here.
Dude, I think overall SmackDown, and I know we talked about it in the chat a little bit. Like, first of all, you know, I agree with you, Fritos. I think Gable, dude, like you're telling me,
they're talking about that too on X, where his shoulders went down. So maybe I think they're
they'll
talking about it tomorrow night, where they're gonna make it a triple threat match. But we already got a triple threat match with the U.S. title. So are they really gonna do 2 mid-card triple threat matches?
I think you can, and I think you could put Sammy, you know, Gunther losing, and then Sammy maybe doing a little heel turn. I think, you know, you put him back heel. But dude, SmackDown's just becoming like, I'll be so glad when Cody finishes the story. When he does, not if, but when he finishes his story, and we can finally go back to some sort of normalcy. I think what they're doing is on purpose. I think it has to do with the fact that they know, obviously they're listening. Obviously they know. You got The Rock coming back, stealing Cody's spot. It was all planned. We now know that, right? I think they are doing this all sort of like build up that kingdom. You build up that big kingdom. You have Cody come in, and as one of his shirts says, he claims that kingdom. He comes in, he tears it down. He tears that down, and then all of a sudden, like him and Seth on Raw, or whoever wins, and Cody on SmackDown, and you have the normal WWE back. Right now, it's being poisoned by the bloodline. And that's the story they're going with right now. And so I'll be glad when WrestleMania is over.
But even the World Heavy Championship, too, I feel like it's slacking because it's all focused on the bloodline, too.
Right.
Like, it should be also focused with Drew and Seth.
Well, and they kind of addressed that on Raw, where Seth said, "Drew, you were at the bottom of the list of things I'm concerned about," and that I agree with Tank at that point. Of that's definitely on purpose for why they're doing that, because you would not think that Seth freaking Rollins, the guy who claims to be the workman's champion, who goes like that, he's not worried about defending his title anymore. I mean, that's where I think I agree with Tank that it's a plot. It's a plot for sure.
They're also giving you clues. I do think Drew beats him this time. I think Drew's gonna. Drew's gonna be like, you know what, you took me too lightly. You didn't pay me any attention, and now I have your title, and now I'm the World Heavyweight Champion. Which that title is gonna look very good on Drew McIntyre. That World Heavyweight Championship. It's a really big belt. It's solid. It looks good. There was a good build on it. So I mean, like I said, it's going to be his title. I think he's going to hold it for a while. I think Seth is going to take some time off.
He's let two Shield members go over too many times.
Yeah,
consecutively.
Oh yeah.
They got him.
Must be nice
one.
though.
Yeah,
must be nice though. You build somebody up. You have them change from heel to face or face to heel. You get the crowd behind them, and all of a sudden you put a belt on them. It would be great if LA Knight would have gotten that treatment, but like who are we to book anything? Who are we?
Hey, now we are the We Book It podcast. What we do, we book it. We book it. Anyways, also, what were your guys' thoughts when news came out that LA Knight is unhappy with his booking? Speaking of booking in the WWE, I think for me, it was a huge moment that isn't being talked about enough. But literally, CM Punk ruined LA Knight's run. That his comeback in Chicago, I think, derailed a lot of people from paying attention to LA Knight, because a lot of people were engaged with LA Knight. LA Knight's a trash talker. That's his thing. That's what gets him over. That's his shtick. So for me, you had all this spotlight, all this hype around him. So we knew that he was not going to beat Roman, but he probably would have got one more match out of that, maybe, instead of, like I said, instead of it being like the fatal 4-way that it was. But I guess maybe not CM Punk ruined it. Maybe we're returning Randy Orton ruined it. Is that maybe a better stop?
Here's why I disagree with you, Mike, because he was like we said, he was never going to be Roman Reigns.
That damn cat.
Meow.
I'm trying, man. I'm sorry,
trying to fire up the cat.
But yeah,
bruh, y'all be in that house going at it. You and that cat, bro. Y'all be in there.
Dude, this guy has
Jerry
a whole ass super soaker, man. He's just.
You saw that, right? When I saw him move the super soaker. He's got it.
Right on the table with me. Right on the table. Got it right here. Yeah, you stay on your cat tree. All right, so back to it. All right, so he was never going to beat Roman. But the thing is, the Cody plan was already set in stone. He was going to face Roman again. So by default, like he was not like LA Knight was never going to get back to, like, he was never going to have a legitimate shot to like win the world title, because
the
it was
World Heavyweight Championship, fellas. Watch me. Stay with me now. Stay with me.
Yeah.
Listen, he was going to somehow cross over to Raw, win that Elimination Chamber, and win that World Heavyweight Championship, or at least make it a triple threat match between Drew, Seth, and him. And I think those plans changed once CM Punk came back. I think the original plans were for him to win that World Heavyweight Championship, or at least be in the mix for that World Heavyweight Championship. But I still hold to the fact that I believe he will be your 2024 Money in the Bank winner, because that match will be have they announced where Money in the Bank is going to be at this year?
Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Toronto, Canada.
You know they're gonna try to do something big if it's in Toronto.
Dude, I think you're gonna go with somebody like Sammy then. Sammy or
It's
Kevin.
either, yeah, I was gonna say Sammy or KO
Probably
for that.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love of God, man! Come on.
I'm just
They
saying
love
it's
their
Canada,
the
bro.
hometown. The
It's Canada.
hometown hero. No. Have Sammy finally win the IC title in Toronto or something like that. But no. Or the world or have Sammy beat Drew for the World Heavyweight Championship in Toronto. But I think LA Knight deserves to hold that briefcase. He's gonna cut fire promos. The briefcase itself might be something I buy. If once LA Knight's custom Money in the Bank briefcase comes out, I will buy that. That will be hanging up in my house.
So you think yeah, sorry. So you think that brings up a good point though. Because you got, if you book Seth, Seth to lose at Mania, you got Damian Priest to cash in possibly on Drew that same night. And you have to, he's heel. You gotta start booking that next babyface to take it over.
Sure.
And why not? Why not? LA Knight comes out, hits you with the "Let me talk to you." I see it. I do see it.
Listen, y'all. Listen. The name of the podcast sticks. We Book It Podcast. I can book this stuff too, y'all, and it will make sense to you. I'm telling you. Let me talk to you.
Man,
Yeah.
If we booked it, man, Cena would be winning every night, and you know that.
We don't have to worry about him booking it because Cena won every night anyways.
Exactly. Super Cena Part 2.
Man,
you respect the goat. You respect your goats. You respect the
man.
goat.
They got that man as a damn Lego on WWE 2K, whatever that is, Mattel toy.
Sure.
Yeah, action figure.
Dude, come on, bro.
Here, wait a minute. Get the 3-finger salute. We got Claude looking at me, dude. He's so miserable watching me do this scene and stuff.
Man, earlier when the cat the first time, the way Claude killed me, that slow look over with the Undertaker hat on, bro. I was done.
He got that. He got the Undertaker hat from WrestleMania 20 or whatnot. That one was more cowboy stylish a little bit.
When he first came back against Undertaker, against Kane.
Yeah,
and he had the leather pants.
Yep.
Oh, that was such a great entrance. Such a great entrance.
Because he turned to the side a little bit when he came, and he just stood there, and the whole crowd that whole Madison Square Garden crowd just erupted. It was like, whoa. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a minute. And you got Paul Bear beckoning them down the rampway. I don't know what sounds I was making. That didn't sound like Paul Bear sounds.
I thought that was the cat again.
It kind of sound like moaning. And I'm just saying. But sorry, go ahead.
Easy, Banana Boy.
Oh wow! Here we go. Before we
I'm
get
going to get
off
us
the
back
rail,
on track. I'll get us back on track here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We talk about
Half a
Money in the Bank. Do you think we talked about CM Punk maybe changing LA Knight's plans? Do you think CM Punk changed Damian Priest's plan to cash in? Because that's what I think happened. Maybe not at Survivor Series, but along the lines, especially after the War Games match, I feel like he would have had a short little run before Mania into where maybe they challenge, Seth gets his rematch at Mania and they add in Drew or somebody or Sammy or somebody like that. That's what I think happened because he has not done a damn thing with that briefcase, and he's going to be one of the first. I think he's going to be the first one.
I have an idea of what might happen. I think Drew wins. Judgment Day comes out. They beat his ass. And Damian Priest cashes in.
Simple.
And then now you think about the past few Damian Priest and Drew had. Now you get to bring that back for what? WrestleMania Backlash is what they call it now.
It's not WrestleMania Backlash. Do not call it that.
Who's the face, though?
I think you turned Drew face for that.
No,
I think they're semi-going face for Judgment Day.
That's
true. The first time you had two heels go against each other for the title, it wouldn't be the first.
Guys, you have to think about this. Check it out. What's the biggest night outside of WrestleMania?
Yeah, SummerSlam.
Raw.
Oh, Raw after Mania.
Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, Raw
after Mania.
That's
after
what
Mania.
Big returns, all that other jazz, you know.
New additions, new call-ups
Call-ups,
from NXT. Listen, Drew McIntyre is going to come out there. He's going to wrestle a match. He's going to get his butt kicked, and Damian Priest is going to end the show claiming the World Heavyweight Championship from him. So, and then what you do is you either, because him and Finn are going to be pissed about losing the tag titles, especially losing them without getting pinned. So they'll probably have a rematch for the tag team championships earlier in the night that they lose.
Look, I'm trying, man. He asking for it. Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
Damn, Kenny. Cheesy puffs.
Sorry, y'all.
Hey,
Sorry.
Hey,
My bad, y'all. My bad.
This show is awful.
Anybody that owns cats, they know the feeling. They know. So anybody that owns a cat, y'all know. So don't even Devin, you know.
We were cleaning today. And all of a sudden you just hear something drop, and his ass will just be like, like looking to see where I'm at, and then all of a sudden
my alertness, man. I'm telling you, it's a game, man. All right, go ahead, man. My bad. Go ahead.
Claudius like them black mamas. They'll wear that. He was sitting that outfit to the cat, bro. I immediately popped. I was dying laughing. I'm like, bro, that's hilarious. It's like, get that.
I guess that's what I get for naming her after my mom. Like, I kind of asked for it, so
for sure. Oh man, listen. Anyways, though, I think that you keep it real simple. You do the cash in the night after WrestleMania. You give Drew his moment in the spotlight. Like I said, they can send him a big, huge poster of fireworks going off with him doing like this, holding the title in one hand. He comes out the next night. He talks about how Seth Rollins overlooked him, how nobody's ever going to overlook him again or whatnot. And then, maybe Seth comes out and challenges him to a rematch. He beats Seth right then and there. And then after that, the Judgment Day beat him down and take the title from him. So, and then thus, like I said, you have to have those two go back and forth at it, but you can also start adding in Sammy maybe to that and see where that goes from there. Thoughts?
I dig it, but I think Priest fails to cash in. I think his steam for being champion is kind of gone. I think he had it for a while, but now it's gone. So he's one of the few that failed to cash in. I think.
Do we know? Sorry to interrupt you. Do we know who the first one to fail was? Sorry, go ahead.
I can't really think off the top of my head.
By technicality, but it still happened.
Sorry, Frito. Go ahead.
Oh no! Always you cut me in, you jackass. But anyways, then I think Seth's gonna be out. I think they're gonna let him rest up. He's still banged up. Even though I'm 100%, I can still go. He's probably gonna take some time, surgery, heal up. He deserves a break. Drew's gonna carry that title all the way through to SummerSlam. I think when Punk comes back, that feud's gonna go off at Slam this year. Then title change and Punk's the champion. Then they could build up for next WrestleMania with Punk and Seth.
Would you want to add Drew into that with all the stuff that Drew has been doing with this heel run? Would you make it a triple threat?
You could, depending on how they book Sammy. It all depends on Money in the Bank in Toronto, how they do that, and how everything works out also with this WrestleMania. If they give the IC title to Sammy, and all of that. It just all depends, because then you got Gunther there. He's probably up next for the World Heavyweight Championship. So it just they've got a bunch of heavyweight title guys right now. So it's kind of just hard to book, and I think they're kind of maybe working that map just to see what to do and what's the biggest cash draw and all that.
Let me ask y'all this in regards to Drew winning the title. So I think he's personally going. I personally think he's going to feud with Damian Priest or Sammy for a little bit. But I think after that's done, I feel like Punk might come back early. I feel like he might be ahead of schedule with his recovery.
He's
and they
supposed
are
to come
they got
back
him.
next
Yeah,
Monday,
it's supposed
right?
to be on. He's supposed to be on Raw. Chicago when they go to Chicago.
Mhm.
And
2 weeks,
so
yeah, or a week.
Next
I'm
Monday.
pretty
Yeah.
sure he's
Yeah.
going to want to confront Drew. About the
Is
stuff
he
he's been
coming?
talking about.
Is he coming back though, or is he just
Well,
returning?
no, not
He's talking. I
not
think
to
he's
wrestle,
gonna-
but I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna give an update about where he's at with his recovery, and he's probably gonna say, "Oh,
Host
I'm
for
like
WrestleMania.
be back within like a month or so, and I'm coming for Drew."
I
yeah.
think he's too injured.
Or
He's gonna be the host. That he's gonna announce, "Hey, I'm the host of WrestleMania," and give him an update on the injury. Oh,
that
Special
that
guest
would
referee.
that would be lit. Him and Big E hosting WrestleMania, bro. That'd be lit. That'd be crazy. It'd be hilarious
Yeah.
too. What about cause WrestleMania is in Philly and Punk knows Philly as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a good thing. But without further ado, it is now time for everyone's favorite moment. Burrito's Fave 5.
Sponsored
Wrestler's Milk
by
of the Week.
nobody.
not yet.
A bag of chips. A generic
Zen
bag of
soon.
chips.
Zens be our sponsors.
Don't sue me, TNT.
You're hilarious.
So I've updated the list. I've got stickers on here now.
Nice.
I bought stickers off of Amazon. We got stadium stickers. When I bought that pack, looked through it, there's not a single John Cena sticker. Sorry, Virgil. Sorry. But
You're
anyway,
a hater and you're not sorry.
I love Cena.
He doesn't pay his taxes.
I'm calling the IRS on your ass. Watch yourself.
Speaking of which, did you fellas schedule your taxes?
I already got it
Oh,
done.
I
Yes,
knock
done.
those out as soon as possible, man.
For you guys.
I
Done.
want to make sure.
You done
Done,
paid.
and already got my refund back. I love my wife.
Done, got the refund, spent that shit.
On that hat, probably.
Damn ring
You know
to
what?
pay for
No,
it.
I got the hat way before I got the taxes.
All right, so to the list. I've got Mercedes Monet. Thought she'd cut an excellent promo. She's going to boost the AEW women's division, and she's going to be your future champion. She's going to just keep the viewership going up, and making more money for the company, and making more money for herself. Number 4, I've got Chad Gable. He lost. I think he should be in the IC title championship. He should be talked about. And he put on a hell of a match. How many her ankle locks did he get? A shit ton? How many? All that stuff. So, and he deserves it. At number 3, I thought it was Jey Uso cutting the promo. Yeet. We're finally getting that. We're getting that match that we've finally been wanting. We talked about maybe a little bit rushed, but we still deserve it, and they're going to put on an excellent match. At number 2, I've got the New Elite. I thought with Okada being added to it, I thought they put on an excellent match. It helps. Forgot who they were going against. You guys remember?
The bastard. Wasn't it the
Mhm.
bastard pot?
Yeah, Eddie and I can't think of the other.
El Mier.
Yes.
Penta.
And I thought all
Yeah.
of them put on an excellent match, but just for the Young Bucks and Okada, it was fantastic. And my number 1, I already told you guys this, but for the rest of you fans, I've got The Rock. The way he cut that promo, the Hollywood entrance, and even though he's supposed to be a heel, he was kind of a bit of a babyface in Memphis with the history back there. I thought it was nice, but that promo itself, going after his mama and the Cody Crybabies, oh, I loved it. And that's been a Fritos Fave 5. Don't clap, Tank. You're not allowed to.
All right. So first and foremost, without further ado, Tank, grade his top
Shit.
5.
They all suck ass. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No.
Tough but fair.
I do have to say I agree with it. Always got that on lock. I think the one thing I would disagree with is putting Rock at number 1. But that's just because I love Cody right now. He's the best in the biz right now. But
When you cry on TV, you don't make the list. Grow up.
Dude, you know the one thing, and I want to get your guys' opinion. I think it could go on next, whatever you guys want to talk about. But best rock theme is Hollywood Rock, hands down. I think that when, in fact, Lauren's slowly starting to get into wrestling with me, and she she's like, oh, that's this is cool. I'm like, oh, you haven't heard anything yet, and I played the classic, the "It's Cooking," and then immediately jumps into it. Oh man, and you're talking about walking to the ring with how you used to walk to the ring really quickly, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that Hollywood theme came out, sunglasses, vest, slowly walking, like getting the crowd, but also just kind of like F the crowd. Oh man, I think bringing back this heel rock is going to be great.
He need the organ intro. Bring that back too, with the organ that plays at the beginning of it.
I see. Yeah, right now I don't know.
Not the long version. Not the long version of it.
This version though, they need to pick what version they want to stick with, because I felt like it was just a jumbled mess. You got the electricity, you got his current theme, you got the Hollywood, the throwback, you got a mixture of "You Smell What the Rock Is Cooked." Like, pick one and stick with it.
Yep.
But overall,
Big
great list.
Big Daddy C, how would you grade Frito's list?
Give it a about a B+.
Yes.
All right.
Never got that in school.
2.9.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
What would you change at a B+?
You said what would I change?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mercedes Monet, Chad Gable, Rock, and who was the other two again?
It was Jey
Okada.
at number 3 and the New Elite at number 2.
New Elite. Let's see here.
Take your time.
While he's thinking about it,
I'll probably put the Okada one a little bit higher. Considering that's one of the big names from New Japan. Definitely would have put him higher up on the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Coach, what do you think?
I'm going to give it a solid B for this list. The couple things I would change, I would put Mercedes higher, probably have her at number 2. I agree with Rock at 1, just because of that kind of aura that he brought and the Rock concert. And I do like that you had Okada and the Elite. I think that would be a solid 3. Same with Gable at 4. I don't agree with Jey on the list. I think it would be it's hard to say. I don't think that the promo was great, but I would probably go with Drew again, just because of his heel work that he's been developing. Not to say that Jay's promo wasn't good. I thought it was good. It just didn't stand out for me.
I'm going to go ahead, Fritos, and give you a good solid F on this week's list because you did not.
School.
You did. Thank you. I'm bringing you back down to earth. I'm giving you an F.
Thank you.
Because number 1 is Cody Rhodes on this list. He had that without a shot of a doubt. The promo that he cut was Dusty Rhodes-esque, baby. And I'm telling you, he asked you to grab in and grab his hand and reach with him. And he had to finish the story because it's not just us, not just his story. It's his family story. Damn it, it's all of our story. Like literally that grab a whole moment where he made you all feel like, look, this ain't just about me. This is about all of us. This is about putting it in to what could potentially be the most destroying, damnating thing about wrestling, which is the bloodline family line, which is for the longest has ruled and reigned over the wrestling community. So now, with that being said, he's put all this on his back. And Michael Cole tried to stir the pot, asking him how can he trust Seth Rollins after all they've been through. So that, I mean, a little bit of foreshadowing for later. I love the way Triple H books. It's amazing. But still, yet and still, out of all of that, you still had Cody come out and he gave the emotions. I feel like that's what he couldn't give in AEW. I feel like in AEW, they looked at him like he was soft if he like cried or like gave you like the teary eyes, gave you the movie theater eyes and stuff like that. But in WWE, it resonates with the audience and they just cheer for him harder and they grab onto his story. So because of that, you got an F because you missed that. That was the biggest moment this week in wrestling outside of the Rock concert. I'm going Cody, I'm going Rock concert. Then after that, I'm going Mercedes Monet because that was a huge moment. Then after that, I'm going to go I hate Damage Control, and I hate Becky Lynch. I hate this whole Becky Lynch Nia Jax stuff. Like, ugh, yuck, God, piss break right now. Piss break me right now. Feeling it. I gotta pee, and I'm not even at the show. Oh my God. Ugh. Anyways, but yeah, at least those top three, and then the rest is interchangeable. I thought AJ Styles and LA Knight, their promo time on SmackDown was pretty good as well. And then obviously, yeah, I would go Drew and Seth at 5. That's just me. But hey, Fritos, it's called Fritos Fave 5, not Mike. So whatever you want to do, it's all you.
Exactly. Just remember that's my list.
Any last final thoughts, fellas, as we close up another successful week in the wrestling biz?
Just remember to whoop that trick.
Yeah.
Whoop that trick.
One of the few Def Rebel theme songs that actually works.
And it has nothing to do with them. That's the crazy part about it.
I know, right?
Oh man, Big Daddy.
Is stand and deliver? Is that is it going to be that week or like that Friday or no?
Stand and deliver is usually Saturday morning, bro. It's gonna be so much wrestling that weekend. Like we're all gonna be burnt out.
So we're gonna have SmackDown, Hall of Fame the same day, then Stand and Deliver early, and then WrestleMania Night 1, and then WrestleMania Night 2. Man.
Then Raw.
And then Raw after Mania. Yep. Yep. It's gonna be a busy time, fellas. It's gonna be a busy time. We're gonna be podding a lot that weekend, so y'all be ready. And I don't hear no excuses either. Y'all better be ready. To everybody tell your wives, girlfriends, family, cats, whatever. You pod with me. You're mine. All right? Deal. As for you, we want to make sure that you, our listeners, the viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for liking the pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the pod. You are the most important part of what we do here on We Book It Wrestling Pod and the In My Opinion Network as a whole. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Peace.